Heidi. So, do you have a hard time saying no? Well, you won't after this video. Trust me, stay tuned. Well, hello, it's Heidi Dulabon, and today we are going to talk about how to say no politely. Every single time you want to say no, it's going to come easy for you because I've created this no-fail formula. And once you follow this is just going to be great because I have one question for you. How good is it going to feel to finally be able to say no politely every single time you want to say no? Well, it's going to feel pretty darn great. But first, please hit that subscribe button, join our community, and like this video. Okay, so we've all been there. Somebody asks us something. It's usually a favor, something above and beyond, and you want to say no. But so many of us, for me, I struggled with this for a long time until I created this formula. So we say yes for myriad reasons, and you know why you say yes. You know what your reasons are. But they could be things like, I want to say no, but I say yes because it gets me out of the moment and I can move on. Or we're thinking about FOMO. I don't want to miss out on something. Or, I want to please everybody. I'm afraid I'm going to offend somebody or appear weak if I can't do this. So no, you know what your reasons are, but I'm going to help you stick to your guns, stay strong, and say no very politely. I can't tell you how many times I've said yes to things just to get me out of there, and I go home and kick myself, and I put myself in the most stressful, awkward situations, and I think, why didn't I just say no? Well, there are times when you get an invitation to something and you really want to go, but for some sort of reason, maybe you have a prior commitment or you're out of town, you simply have to decline politely. Okay, that's one thing. I'm talking about those asks that you get when somebody is asking you for a favor or something sort of above and beyond, and you want to say no, but you end up saying yes. Okay, well, first of all, you've got to see this big ask coming. Okay, and there is usually a formula for that. So you can see this thing coming a mile away once we break it down into this formula. Now, it's not always in this form, but many times. And once you recognize this formula, you'll see this big ask coming a mile away, and you're going to be all prepared with your response. Because the big ask is something like, it's usually a compliment plus a little flattery. There may or may not be a little guilt trip thrown in, and that equals this big ask. Okay, it could be something, a scenario. Let's just, for an example, say I'm at work. Someone comes up to me and they say, "Oh, Heidi, you're just the smartest person in the whole department." Compliment. "And you always know exactly what the boss wants." Flattery. And I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm sort of on thin ice here at the company because if I don't get a home run with this project I'm working on, I could be in some hot water. Okay, a little guilt trip thrown in. Well, now that equals the big ask is coming. And it would be something like, "Heidi, would you help me with this project?" Okay, and we don't want to. We want to say no. For whatever reason, we want to say no. Okay, so there is a formula for saying no. And you're going to go into training and you're going to train. You're going to practice. You're going to rehearse your response because research shows when you practice a response, it will automatically come out. Yes, your training is going to kick in, especially in times when you're tired or very stressed. And the training is going to kick in and your response is going to flow out and you're going to say no so beautifully and so politely. Okay, because I have an acronym and a formula for you. because we are going to do this. I call it C.H.O.P. Yes, C.H.O.P, and an acronym. Your response is going to be concise. It's going to be honest. Of course, no lying in etiquette. It's going to be honest. It's going to be on point. Don't go on at great lengths. Stay on point, and it's going to be polite. So C.H.O.P, concise, honest, on point, polite. Okay, and the response formula is this. It's a thank you, followed by a very brief apology, and then you can leave it at that. Or you may or may not add a little time constraint, and then you may or may not add a very brief explanation, and that equals a very polite no. So my response to this big ask at work could go something like this. Oh, well, thank you for the compliment. Yeah, right, I'm the smartest one in the office. Okay, that's my thank you. But unfortunately, I'm so sorry, but I am just not able to help. Okay, apology, I'm so sorry, okay? Now I'm going to add a little time constraint. I do not need to, but it's going to be easier for me. At this time. I cannot help at this time. But be aware of time constraints. That could open you up to another ask down the road. You still a little uncomfortable? Well, then add a very brief explanation. I'm terribly sorry. I cannot help at this time because I'm overwhelmed with my own workload. Okay, that is a very polite no. Thank you so much for the compliment, but unfortunately, I'm terribly sorry. I'm not able to help at this time. I'm overwhelmed with my own workload. Boom. Okay, that is your response. That's what you're going to go into training for. The formula is down below. Start training when you're in the shower, when you're in the car, wherever you can carve out a few moments and be authentic. Make it yours. Make the words yours, but follow the formula. A thank you, brief apology, maybe a time constraint, maybe a very brief explanation. And this is just going to kick in and you're going to say no so politely and so easily. It's just going to come out. Okay, but there's more. Sometimes you come across people that just won't take no for an answer. So you have to be prepared for that because they start pleading. But that's okay. We can handle it. We can give a very final no very politely. Okay, so the pleading could be something like, oh, but Heidi, this is so easy for you and you're so good at it. Can't you please help me just this one time? Pleading. Okay, no worries. We're going to be in training. We're training for the response to the pleading. And it's going to be sort of a repeat. We're going to say, thank you, plus the brief apology, but this is where it differs. This is where we're going to add this one element, and this shuts it down politely. We are going to add a thank you. Okay, but the thank you is for their kind understanding in this matter. I'm not able to help you. You've thanked them in advance for understanding, and that means no, final no, that's it. It's polite. Okay, so it goes something after the pleading. Please, Heidi, please help me just this one time. Okay, my response is going to be the thank you. Well, thank you for thinking of me, plus the brief apology again. But as I mentioned, unfortunately, I'm sorry, I'm just not able to help you. And now here comes that big thank you. But thank you so much for your kind understanding that I am just too overwhelmed to help. Boom. No, 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 no. I cannot help you at this time. thanking them for their understanding in this matter. You make these words yours, okay? And stay with the CHOP: concise, honest, on point, and polite. And you are going to start saying no so politely every single time you want to say no. Yes, the yeses when you really mean no, those days are over, because go into training. So this will just be second nature to you. That training's just going to kick in when you see that formula coming a mile away, right? For that big ask that you don't want to do. Okay, everybody, please drop me a comment. What do you think? I can't wait to hear how this works for you when you employ this formula and CHOP, okay? We've got this. We're in this together. We can do it. I'm with you. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for watching. And as I always say, please be kind. Thank you.